Yes, Miss Tessy.
All right, guys. Hello. I like to show my face to you guys. I don't know. I think videos usually take more I think they take more energy from the network. I don't know. But if at some point I feel like I need to switch it off, I'm sure most of you are already used to my beautiful face. So you already have an idea what I look like. So yeah, so let's just go on. Yesterday we did start talking about the mind, and we didn't get to talk a lot about it. And just like I was sharing with mine now, we may still have some of those discrepancies here and there. It may go off and come back on, but we will make the best of time. In fact, I actually decided today that if the network keeps going off and on and off and on, I would go straight to your the WhatsApp group where everyone is, and I'm going to do a long voice notes, a series of voice notes explaining, so that even if we don't get a good time here, you can always still listen to the voice notes on the WhatsApp, just in case this doesn't work out as planned. So I have a contingency plan today, right? So nothing is going to stop us from changing our thoughts and changing our lives. Okay, so let's move to the next part of the slides. I hope you have your notepads with you, and I hope you're ready to ask me questions and to also note down what it is we're talking about today. All right, so what is the mind? Yesterday I shared and I said the mind is that which thinks, imagines, remembers, wills, and senses. Okay, the mind is also associated with experiencing perception, pleasure and pain, belief, intention, emotion. Now, if you've ever wondered where your imagination came from, how you're able to remember, how you're able to decide to do something or not do anything, your senses, your perception, your pleasure, where you feel good, where you feel pain, your belief system, your intention and your emotion, all of this is what makes up the mind. Now, a lot of people have often asked, what is the difference between the mind and the brain? They are two different things. Your brain is the powerhouse of your whole body, your whole existence, the powerhouse, what makes your hands move, makes your ears, flexible, makes your eyes open and close, make your hands move. See how I'm moving easily and all. All of that is a function of your brain, and your brain is tangible. Tangible means you can feel it, you can see it, you can touch it, right? Now, your mind, however, is not tangible. You can't see it, you can't feel it, and you can't touch it, but it exists, which is why we say that the mind is that which imagines, it thinks. So your thoughts come from your mind, not from your brain. However, your mind cannot think without getting information from your brain. Do you see? So there's a part of your brain called the neocortex. The neocortex is the part of your brain that is responsible for your logical thinking, you being able to do stuff, right? So I'm going to take up my notes because I want you guys to really understand what the brain is. I'm going to read something from it to help you understand. So there's a part of your brain called the neocortex. The neocortex deals with your logic and control, planning, your conscious thinking. So your neocortex is where you decided, that's where the reasoning that made you say, oh, let me be at this session today. It came from your neocortex, okay? Your imagination, that control, that the things you're saying right now, the conscious things you're saying comes from your neocortex now. That's where it comes from, okay? Now, but there are other parts of your brain. Now, there's what we call the limbic system. This is also a part of your brain. It's where you experience pleasure and fear, okay? Now, there is where we call the reptilian brain. I know I'm giving you a lot of serious terms, but you'll get the picture, okay? Now, the reptilian brain is the basic bodily functions. So you see things like how you know when you're hungry. The reptilian part of the brain is responsible for that. They call it the reptilian brain. Where you go and pee or use the toilet, or where you wave, all those are basic bodily functions, okay? And that is responsible is the reptilian brain. Now, all of these together work together to help you, okay? Now, as a human being, you can't function without a mind. Have you ever heard when they say things like someone has an accident and then they say the person has become a vegetable? What they mean at that point is that certain functions of the brain are no longer active. So that person cannot think, cannot really act out their thoughts. Does it mean that their mind has gone bonkers? No. But the part of the brain that is meant to support the mind in acting out whatever it is thinking and all the processes has gone. So what may be on your mind now is, so why do I need to know about the brain? Why do I need to understand my mind? That's because everything you're doing today, in fact, how many of us are here today? Let me look at that. We're 33 people here. Every person who is present in this talk or who is listening to me right now is here because they thought to themselves, I need to be here. There was a necessity in your mind that says, I need to be here. And that's why you're here. So your mind is the powerhouse for everything. Now, I was going to share an image with you, but I'll share it at the end of our conversation. So let's move on to the next slide. Now, as we think about the mind, I did point out some of the keywords I wanted us to pay attention to, okay? Which, if you look clearly, you can see them. Thinking, there's imagination, there's remembering, there's will, there's perception, there's pleasure, pain, belief, intention, emotions. These are keywords. Every single person listening to me right now is consciously in their mind here. Some of the things I'm saying to you, I see all the messages you guys put on LinkedIn about, God, these guys are going to kill me with a lot of compliments. Like, you guys are so awesome. Mayin putting up all the certificates, all of those things, and you guys saying it was good, it was good, it was good. The reason you are able to say all of these things is because I am appealing to a sense in your mind. I am appealing to you. I'm appealing to your imagination. I'm making your imaginations run crazy, yeah? I'm making you think of something. I'm giving you perception to something else. I'm giving you some emotion inside of you. That's exactly what the mind is there. Every person sitting here is a function of how their mind were conditioned. Now, I'll give you this example. I'm sure I've shared it one or two times, but I'll say it again. When you are born as a person, you are born as a plain canvas. We all know what a canvas is. A canvas is an instrument that is used for painting. We're born as a plain canvas, and that canvas is determined by the environment. What is on that canvas is determined by the environment, the type of parenting style that you got. So some people have great parenting, while some people have faulty parenting. Now, there's what we call the 4 parenting styles. There are 3 faulty parenting styles, and there's 1 healthy parenting style. Most of the people living in the world fall under faulty parenting style because our parents did not have access to this information, or probably didn't even know what to do, okay? Either because we had certain rules that were made by our religious books, or we had generations of people who had told us this is how you train a child, but that may not be it. So Mayi was sharing with me the other day how, her son needs to be validated, he's inquisitive, he does this, he does. That's because the generation of children that we are giving birth to now, are different. They're exposed to more things. In our time, I was born in the 80s, in my late 80s. And in the late 80s till, for those are millennials, yeah. So for us, we didn't have access to a lot of things. We didn't have access to technology. We didn't have access to the amount of information that we have now. Now there's so much. So you can't expect to train your the principles aren't there, but you have to pay close attention to how they work and why they behave the way they do. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Let's keep going. We're going to see how interesting the mind is. Remember, we are talking about changing your thoughts so that you can change your life. And I'll get into the deep parts of it. Let's keep going. Now, what is the connection between the brain and the mind? The connection between the brain and the mind, like I mentioned earlier, is that the brain supplies the information that the mind needs to work. Okay, the brain takes in information and it does that. Now, how do I change my thoughts? This is the thing you want to now find out. So how do I change my thoughts? The first thing you want to note about changing your thoughts is, what kind of thoughts do you have about life? And when I say life, I mean everything. What are the kind of thoughts that you have towards your mind? So what do you think about marriage when you think about it? What do you think about women? What do you think about men? What are your thoughts about business? What are your thoughts about money? What are your thoughts about education? What are your thoughts about life? What are your thoughts about every single thing? I want you to examine yourself as you're listening to me. What are the thoughts? What are you think of? How do you think about them? Because the way you think about things is the reason why you're here. There are people who are like you who should be here, but you know why they are not here? It's not because they didn't have access to the information. It's because their thoughts have not led them to find this group or find the information that they need to get their life better. So let's do an example. Somebody keeps saying, I want to make money. I want to make money. I want to make money. I want to grow in my career. I want to become a better person in my career. But the person doesn't make any moves, or the person keeps believing that somebody needs to connect them. You know, there are people who believe that somebody must connect you. No doubt, human beings are important in our lives in terms of relationships. But they keep thinking, oh, I don't have the right connections. I don't have the right connections. I don't know the right people. That's why I need to meet people. I need to meet people. But that's a mindset. That's a thought pattern. That is not necessarily true, because if you think about it, why do you really need people to get where you're going to? If you don't have the skill, okay, so let's say I'm someone's auntie now and they say, oh, they want to do something, something, something. I would not find somebody who has the zeal or anything. I will find someone who can do the work. Do you guys agree with me? You won't give the job to your brother just because he's your brother and because you have the connections. You want somebody who can get the job done. So when you start thinking and saying you need somebody without getting your skill, what you're saying in essence is that I don't need to work on myself, which is the wrong thought pattern. It's the wrong mindset. So you must change your mindset. And how do you change your mindset? The first thing you want to do is changing your mindset is identify the faulty mindsets. Identify it. What are they? What are those faulty mindsets? How do you know faulty mindsets? Faulty mindsets are mindsets that you stick to even after many years of seeing that that thing doesn't work. Now, something may work for me. It may not work for you. I heard Mayin mention something about Asia and Africa and the discrimination and the racism and a bit of that. And that's very interesting because in the world we live today, we are all connected. I'm a Nigerian, speaking to a lot of you who are from Pakistan and Afghanistan, yeah, and some people from some parts of Africa that I'm speaking to and sharing with as well, right? This is an integration. The world is now one. There is no communication. There's no longer the barrier of I can see Afghanistan from the comfort of my home. I can see Pakistan from the comfort of my home. I can see UAE from the comfort of my home. I can see Malawi from the comfort of my home. I can see anywhere. So why would I keep thinking that one person is better than the other when I can clearly see and understand the culture of the other person to a certain extent? So you must start to begin to challenge your thoughts. Challenge those thoughts. Those thoughts are so important because unless you challenge them, nothing can happen. And I'm going to give you, more insight on how to change your thoughts. One is just challenge your thoughts. Identify them, one. Number two, challenge them. Question them, put them to the work. Number three, start to find people and things that think the way you'd like to think. So I'll give you a typical example. Someone says they want to get married, right? And the first thing that comes to their mind is the kind of person they want to get married to and what they want out of marriage. So a typical society will say things like, I want a woman that can cook, that can clean, that can take care of children, that can give birth. That's a typical society. But if you really think about it, a robot can do all of these things. You guys, don't you think so? A robot can clean. A robot can maybe carry your baby, or somebody else can carry your baby, or an incubator or something. You can have your eggs and your sperm and all of that big together and put the baby somewhere, and the baby can grow outside the human body, or even if it's in somebody else's body. So you don't even need to get married to have a baby. You don't need to get married to have children. That's two. Now, what's the other thing I said? You need someone that can take care of the home. Oh, you can get a nanny to do that. You don't need to marry your nanny, or you don't need to marry someone to do that. Okay. What else again do you need? Someone who can cook. A robot can cook. Yes, there are robots now that can do that. And if you don't want a robot to do it for you, you can order food, right? The kind of food you want. For example, I'm a chef. I cook. I cook exotic meals. Meanwhile, all of you listening to me right now on this platform, you all owe me biryani. I don't know how you're going to get it across to me, but all of you owe me biryani. You all owe me biryani. So start thinking of how you're going to send it across to Nigeria, or maybe invite me to your, country or something, so I can come and have a taste of food. Okay, done. Yay. Thank you, Mayan. So you have to think about it in that way, right? So at the end of the day, all these things this man may have mentioned and said he wanted in a wife, somebody else can do it. Oh, you make pizza. Sweet. That's cool. Right? Somebody else can do the same thing. So why do you need a wife to get that done for you when you can get all of this? So having a wife is much more than cooking, cleaning, giving birth, taking care of the home. All right? It's more than that. So you must change your mindset to begin to think deeper. Why do I need a wife? What's the benefit of a wife? What's the benefit of a husband? Is it just to pay my bills and buy me things? Or is it more than that? Okay. So your thought pattern about something can change. For those of you who are working and you have your career in front of you and there's something you want to do with your life, I challenge you today. Question your thought pattern. Remember, I said your thought pattern was created by the type of parenting that you had, by the kind of environment that you grew up in, the kind of food that you eat. All of that is created. The reason why your hair is different from my hair, the texture of my hair, is because the food we eat and our genes are different. And genes, food and environment are also part of genes. Have you guys seen a goat before? You guys, everybody here knows goats. Do we have vegetarians here? I'm not a vegetarian. I am full-blown not a vegetarian. I love to eat meat. Okay. So you see there is a regular goat that looks like a normal goat. Yeah. But also there are some goats we call mountain goats. I don't know if you've heard of them. They are mountain goats. Now, mountain goats have more fur. They are the same goats, but they have more fur. They eat different things. They have so many things that they are doing, and they can walk on a hill without falling. Have you guys seen that? Do you guys watch Nat Geo Wild and other things? I love to watch animal channels a lot. Sayed said, and try dry fruit. Oh yes, dried fruits, definitely. I love dates, by the way. Debbie, no, dates are my favorite. I love them. Okay, so let's not talk food. You know how I am with food. For all of you who know me, I don't think Sayed has seen that part of me yet. So let's not go to talking about food. All right. So you talk about all of these animals. Yes. Now, when you look at how the animal behaves, you can tell that it's the same goat, but it behaves differently. Do you know why it behaves differently? It lives in a colder environment. That's why it has more. Yes, we have makors here in Pakistan, our mountain goats. Oh, awesome, awesome. So they have a lot of fur because they stay in a cold part of this thing. They're on the mountain. The mountain is usually very cold. So the reason why they behave the way they are is because of where they are coming from. There are things that they prefer to eat that the goats that live around you, cannot eat. So it's the same thing I'm trying to tell you. The way you are behaving today, the thoughts you have today, right? These thoughts are fueled by the environment and the parenting style and the things you've adapted to and the things you've tried and not tried. Okay, so that's basically what it is. So let's move on to the next one. Are we getting some gems from this session today? I hope we're getting some really good stuff. All right, so let's go to the next one. Now, this is where I was getting to, okay? This part says, this is how you were born as a person. This is how you come. You come as a canvas, like this. Now, can we share in the comment section, what can you notice about this canvas? Tell me, what do you notice about it? That's the white plain board you can see. The canvas is for drawing, for painting. It's empty. That's one. Thank you, Janet. Plain and clean. Thank you, Divya. Thank you. Who else wants to share something they notice about the canvas? There are a few things that no one has mentioned yet, and I want to see if you guys will notice it. It's empty. Yes, Gloria. Thank you, Gloria Banda. Thank you. Who else again? It's ready to adopt. Yes. What else? It's calling you to paint. Oh my, I think I'm going to share my painting with you guys before the end of the session. I'll ask my kids to bring it for me. I did a sip and paint over the weekend and it was so beautiful. I love painting. I paint for fun. Fresh, new, blank, new page. Yes. Who else? There's something I'm looking for. There's a particular, there are two words I'm looking for. I don't know who's going to get these two words. So this is what we're going to do. Whoever gets it representing a story, yes, you're right. Whoever gets at least one of the words I'm looking for, I will give that person one free session. Samri said he's waiting for an artist. Of course. So did you guys hear me? I'm looking for two words to describe this image. Emptiness. Oh, yeah. So if you get at least one word, just one word I'm looking for, I'm going to give you one free session, okay? One free therapy session. So that's what I'm doing. So let's see. I should give you hints. Oh, no, I'm not giving you hints. It's too easy. Empty and stable. Yes, refreshing. Nobody wants to bail you guys out. I'm about to take my free session back. It's a pattern. Not really, but yeah. New start, of course. That's why it's empty, okay? Cleaned. All right, we're going. I'm about to take. So if Mayin actually wants to, Mayin can actually say it and then she can give the free session to someone else if she wants to. You've all said is new, it's refreshing, it's ready for an artist, it's, all of that. But there's something no one has mentioned yet. Pencil. Well, no, that's not it. It's plain. Yeah, but that's not it. There's something about it that makes it unique. It's missing colors. Of course it is, Tithia, but that's not what I'm looking for. I don't think we're able to guess it. No, you can't. You have just see. This is why your mind is important. You must be able to think deeply. It's empty. Yes, that's it. Okay, so okay, what's the question? The question is, Tamina, the image here, everybody has said it's a canvas. We all know, right? This is our brain when we come to earth. It's simplicity. It's okay. So Tamina, the question is, I want someone to tell me a particular word that describes what is here. Everybody has said everything about it, but there's one thing that no one has want to say it. And I did say when someone says it, I would give that person one free therapy session. Okay. So whiteboard. Okay, so that's one of the things I was going to say. It's white. Thank you. So you did get one of that. So who got that? You actually got the fact that square canvas. Oh my God. Okay, so you see, someone thought about it. So I'm going to give why I don't know. Sorry if I murder your name. Just tell me how to pronounce it. Is it Wahia or Wajia? He says he or she says it's a square canvas. That's what I was looking for, the shape. And the other person who is going to get another session from me said something else. I'm trying to find it. Said it's white. So Ali, you have a free session from me, and what here you have a free session from me. Okay, so please make sure you reach out to me on the WhatsApp group. Just remind me, because I may forget. Okay, so, and Tamina or anyone from Women Ascension, please make sure you take note of the people who I said I would give one free therapy session to, okay, so that I don't forget. So thank you guys for guessing. Everyone who guessed, you guys were fantastic. Okay, great. So what you notice about this canvas is that it is square or rectangle, whatever you want to call it, and it is white. You see? So when you are born, what happens is you are able to, oh, Shisa says, I need a session too. Okay, we can work around that. Okay. Maybe I will give you a discount or something, but we can work around that. That's fine. As long as you're in this session, you'll probably get a discount for your session from me, for any therapy session from me. Okay. So that's cool. We can work with that. Just make sure you say something to me on the WhatsApp group so that I remember. So this is how you, now, how do we describe this canvas? We notice that it's white, it's empty, it has a shape. When you come, the genes you come with, how you look, who do you usually look like? You look like your parents. Do you see? You look like your parents. So that's the shape. That's the shape. That's the shape you come with. Okay? That is absolutely the shape you come with. You look like your parents. When you start to behave, sometimes you hear them say, she behaves like my grandmom. Oh, she behaves like her mother. Oh, she does this. That is the color. You see? So your skin color, your shape as a person, your bodily shape, all of those things are what you come from. But you see, the way you think today was determined by the painting. So let's go to the next slide so that you understand what I'm talking about. This is you when you're born. Now, let's see you when you start growing up and living with your parents and all of those things. The next slide will give us a better view. Awesome. So this may not be a very clear picture, but you see that hand right there is painting. So now guess who the hand is? The hand and the paintbrush are your parents, your environment, your the food you eat, the people you interact with. That is how, okay? That is how your life begins to form. Now, there are some paintings that can stay in certain places. There are some paintings that can't stay in certain places. But right now, I want you to imagine that the way you're thinking right now is actually because of the kind of environment you grew up in, your religion, your thought pattern was formed by your parents and your environment and your food and the interactions you've had, and also the experiences you've had out of life. So imagine that I am afraid to speak to people. Why am I afraid to speak to people? It's probably because the environment I grew up with, I was told to keep quiet most of the time. Now, let me share something unique with you. Your personality is the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. That's what makes up your personality as a person, okay? The way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act is your personality. Now, your personality equals to your personal reality. I'll break that down. So if your personality is the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act, and your personality equals your personal reality, meaning the way you are, the way you behave, how you respond to issues is basically what is real to you, is what your reality. Yes, it designs your thinking pattern. That's basically what it is. So if we have a painting that is magnificent, there are places we put certain paintings, okay? To change your reality, which is what you know now, because your reality is what you believe in now, is what you see now. But there are some things about your reality you don't like. How many of us would agree? I will share with you one of the things about my reality that I don't like, so that you see that it's a real thing. How many of us agree that there are things about our current reality that we don't like, but somehow we don't know how to get rid of it? Yes. We don't know how to, shake it off. And it's pretty easy. I'll give you an example with myself. One of the things about my personal reality, current reality, that I don't like, that I've started working towards changing, is the fact that I don't have as much money as I want. My thought pattern about money for the longest time has been that I needed to work somewhere where they were going to pay me a lot of money and I was going to have a lot of money. I didn't know. I knew that you could do business, but what I didn't know was I didn't know that I was a business person. So when I decided and realized I was a business person and I didn't like 9 to 5. Yeah, right, Janet. Yeah. So when I realized that I couldn't do 9 to 5, I was a business person. The next question came, so what do I do to make money? And so I started thinking. But my personal reality is that I must work to get money or I must be born into a wealthy home. So I felt already discouraged and disadvantaged because I wasn't born into a wealthy home. I didn't have parents who would spend a lot on me. And I didn't have a job that would pay me the kind of money I wanted. So I already felt disadvantaged. And so whenever I approach things, this is how that thought pattern started affecting me. So whenever I'm around people, funny enough, I would always have wealthy friends. I would have friends that have a lot of money, whose parents are doing well, they are doing great. I could probably be the only person there whose parents aren't doing so well. Yet these people were attracted to me and I didn't understand why. Right. So guess what I started doing? I started people pleasing because I wanted to feel like I belonged. I didn't have to do anything to attract them, but yet I felt like I needed to belong. I felt like I needed to be something so that they can see me as valuable because I felt I didn't feel valued. Now, what that started doing to me was as I started going on in life, I never thought that I would be able to get the kind of money that I wanted. I felt like I needed to, be some big person to have that money. I never thought that I'll be able to have the kind of money that I wanted. So I would people please. I would not believe in myself. When people offer me things, right? Like how people give you blank checks and say, pick anything. I would pick the cheapest thing. Do you know why I was picking the cheapest thing? Because in my head, in my personal reality, I didn't deserve something that was expensive. I could never afford an expensive thing. I could never afford something. And it robbed me of a lot of things. I missed a lot of opportunities because I would be with someone and they would say, oh, come, I will do this for you. I wouldn't ask them. I won't even go back because I felt like they were lying or they wanted to rub it in my face. So you see how your personal reality can actually affect the way your life is. What are those things that you have negative thoughts about? What are those areas in life that you have negative thoughts about? What are those people that you think are a certain way? You don't have a fact, but you just assume. Some people say things like, I assume that something bad is going to happen tomorrow. You are not God. You can't tell what tomorrow holds. Why are you already envisaging something terrible? Why not think of something good? Why not be hopeful? And all of this is a function of our thinking pattern, which is why as a therapist, one of the things I do when my clients come to me is I take them through a series of questions from when they were younger. I ask them questions. Questions like, what's your relationship with your family, your mom or your dad? Where did you live? How was growing up for you? What were the things that happened to you as a young person that really, hurt you? The things that made you happy, how all of those questions I'm asking, because if I can tell how you're growing up and your experiences were, I can tell. Oh, she said very beautiful British accent. Oh, really? I didn't know I sound like if I do my British accent for you, you would change. This is not British. This is Nigerian simple English. Okay. If I do British accent, nobody will hear a thing I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's keep going. So those are the things that matter here. You need to start to ask those questions. And that's what I do in my session. I ask those questions. Because if I can tell where you're coming from, then I can tell you what you need to change and what you need to do. Some of you have black paint on your canvas. Meanwhile, instead of changing, because the truth is, you can't change your past, you can't change your experiences, but you know what you can do? You see that black paint on your canvas, you can actually add some color to make that black become another color, even though the black is still there. And that's what I'm here to tell you today, that to change your life, you must begin to change how you think. You must stop thinking the old way. You must start thinking differently. Because you see, the reason why we have billionaires and millionaires is because there's a way they think. Don't let nobody deceive you. It's not just about who they know. It's not just about their parents. It's also because they think differently. A wealthy person who is already wealthy on the inside, because you can't be wealthy on the outside. I'm using wealth because that's most of the things that we all deal with. Yeah, right. Money. Right. Thank you, Isna. So The wealthy person starts becoming wealthy from inside. You start becoming wealthy from the inside. You don't start becoming wealthy from the outside. You must feel wealthy. If you don't feel wealthy, wealth will not come to you. If you don't feel loved, love will not come to you. If you don't feel diligent and do diligent, it won't come to you. You can't have what you don't feel or believe. You must believe it. You believe you're going to get something out of this session. That's why you're here today. It's not because anybody forced you to be here. You're here because you feel. In fact, you've only known me for how long? Yet you believe that a session with me will change your life. Why? You believe it. You didn't even need to have any facts. You just know that every time I come and speak with you, you will get some value. Why? You believe it. So why can't you believe the things that you want in life that are not happening to you now? Because that's where it starts from. You must first of all believe it. And so I'll tell you another sentence that you need to know. If you do the same thing every day, you'll get the same results. So I want us to take a pause. Just a brief pause. I know you're listening to me. I'm the one that needs to keep quiet, but I want you to think while you can hear my voice. What are those things you have been doing every day for a long time in your life? And see the results they've been giving you. Anything that has not been giving you the results that you desire, you need to check what you've been doing. Because everything you do every day, you will get the same results. You can't do the same thing every day and expect. So you are spending, you don't have financial intelligence, you don't know how to use money or spend money, yet you are believing that you're going to buy a car. You don't know anything about money, yet you want to be a billionaire. How is that going to be possible? It's not possible. If you keep spending frivolously and you don't have financial intelligence, you don't invest, you don't save, you don't plan, you don't budget, you don't do all of those things, and you're in your heads of heads, you are hoping, why am I not becoming a millionaire? Why don't I have millions in my account? You can't be spending money and expect money to remain. Money is a tool. It goes where it is needed. You have been using money and expect money will be in your account. How is that possible? I'm not saying don't spend money. This is just an example. So I'm saying that you cannot do the same thing every day and expect a different result. So the result you're getting in your life today, I put it to you. It is because you have been doing the same thing. So if you want to see a different result, you must change the way you're doing the things you're doing. So I'm going to tell you guys, when it comes up, I will let Mai know and she will inform the rest of the group. I don't know how many more mentorship series we'll have in the year 2025, but I'm sure Mai will communicate with me once she has, we've planned and we know all the topics we're talking about for next year. But one of the things I want to do for a lot of people is to create what we call the mind mastery. It's called Metamorphosis. It's going to be a 3-day training and workshop for people who want to change their mind. I'm going to take you through little by little steps. So it's going to be 2 to 3 hours every day for 3 days, where we will talk about deep things intimately. It's going to be a closed group. I'm going to be taking only 20 people or less, right? So it's not going to be open for a long time. So the moment you see it, you have to make payments and start to plan for it, because the slot will not be open, okay, for everybody. So we're going to basically have that mind mastery where you can go through the process of renewing your mind, and here to show you all the secrets and the tips. Okay, that's why it's a paid for event, and that's why it's going to be for that long. So these are the simple things that you need to do. Yes, we do need it step by step. Yeah. So that's what you need to do. And one of the ways you can start changing how you think is to introduce information. Introduce information. Don't be afraid of learning. What are those things you want to know and achieve that you don't know anything about? Start learning about it. Start reading. Start asking questions about it. Start going to find things. There's a book I'm going to recommend for everybody. It's called Atomic Habits. Let me see if anyone can please type it in the comment section so everyone sees this. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm going to share it. I don't know if I shared it I think I had mentioned it earlier, but I don't remember sharing it on the group. I don't know if I did. Please, if I shared a book on the group in the last 3 months, please let me know. But I don't think Atomic Habits, yes, by James Clear. James as in James. I have that PDF. Awesome. So please share with it or share with them on the group. You need to go and read Atomic Habits. It helps you put together your life and helps you manage your time and create routines, because all of us are a product of routines. all of us are all a product of routine. Everything we do is a product of routine. The way you wake up in the morning, the way you sleep, the way you is all a routine. You've done it so much that you don't think it's a routine, but you started by doing one thing and then start adding other things. So I'll give you an example of my routine in the morning and then we'll move on. Okay. This is how my routine works. And my routine basically helps me form habits that I need to get to where I'm going to. Okay. Now, I did mention to you that I had a mindset of not having enough and not being valued enough. Okay. And all. This is how I have started changing that mindset. Let me show you step by step how I've started changing that mindset, and then we would round up. Okay. Now, the first thing I did was I realized the beginning of my day determines the rest of my day. The things I need to change my mindset is, first of all, I need financial intelligence. I need to know about money. I need to know how money works and how to make money. So I started reading books. But I struggle to read physical books. I listen better than I read. I'm an auditory person. Most women are auditory. That's why when a man tells you, oh, you're beautiful, you're giggling. Even when you know he's lying and he's just admiring you every time, you just feel so good about yourself. Now, men are mostly visual, which is why a man sees a woman that is what? Beautiful. And he says, you are beautiful. What he's saying is not her heart. He's not saying her character. What he's saying is beautiful. When he first sees a woman, is how she looks in her body. Right? It's how she looks in her body. I'm like, what is the work to onto that? Okay, so it's her body that he sees. So when he says you're beautiful, he can't see your heart. He doesn't think you're beautiful in your heart. What he sees is your body, the shape of your body, right? So men are mostly visual, women are mostly auditory. I'm very auditory, right? So at the end of the day, I listen more. So I decided I would listen to my books. I couldn't do it myself, so I decided to get an app that would help me do it. Now, this is how I infused it, because you must begin to take steps to achieve what you want to achieve. What am I trying to achieve? Financial intelligence, so that I can start making money, so that I can really become a millionaire. And I'm sure when I hit my first million, I'm going to tell all of you, or somehow you will know, because I will say it, it'll be a big deal for me, right? I have hit my first million, but not at once. They came in bits. So I want to be able to get like 1 million at once in my hand, and it's profit, not anything else. I'm looking forward to that. Now, at the end of the day, what I started doing was that in the morning when I wake up, first thing I do is I go to the toilet and pee. Now, this is my routine. I go to the toilet and I take a leak, I pee. Once I come back, I take my headphones, I plug it, and I do meditation. I have a meditation that I do, a particular one for the manifestation and for my day. So I go through the 15 minutes guided meditation, after which I read Allah affirmations. I have affirmations for money and I have affirmations for myself. I read my affirmations 7 times, right? Because I want my affirmations to enter into me, and you're already like, yay, thank you. Yes, amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Mayan. That is so encouraging. So I read my affirmations and I listen to my affirmations. Your affirmations are so important. I think I can already tell, Mayan, I think I already know what the first 3 topics for the year would be for each month for the next, between January and March. I think I already know what we're going to be talking about. It just came to me now, and I'm going to just put that down. Sorry, guys. When I get points like that, I like to write it down so I don't forget. So we're going to talk about a bit. I already know what we're talking about. Let me just put it down. Yeah. Okay, so we can continue. I had to write that down. So these are the things that I do. Now, once I'm done with my affirmations, okay, I say my prayers. Some days I say my prayers and I don't do meditation. Some days I say prayers and I do meditation. So it depends on the day. I have my days scheduled. Now, once I'm done, the next thing I do is go to the kitchen to think of breakfast. And while I am making breakfast for the family, for the house, I am listening to my Bible, because I read, I'm a Christian. So I'm listening to my Bible, I'm listening to the word of God, and it's flourishing me for the day, preparing me for the day. Once I'm done with that, I play while I'm eating breakfast, I play a game on my phone. I love video games, okay? I play video games on my phone, or some of these mobile games. I just play on my phone while I am while I'm playing the game, I'm eating breakfast. After that, I listen to a book, at least a chapter or 2 chapters of a particular book that I'm reading in that month. Now, once I'm done listening to the book, the next thing I do is go to social media. Now, I realize that social media can be a time waster if you don't know how to use it, which is why I leave social media for the later part of my day, which is around 12 p.m.-ish, okay? 11 a.m., 12 p.m. That way, I have gotten some real work in the day. This is me. Initially, before I started doing this routine, guess what I would do when I wake up? First thing I would do when I wake up, of course, I would naturally pee. That's a natural cue for me. But once I'm done with that, you know the next thing I do? The next thing I do is I pray sometimes. Then I press my phone. Other days, I will pick up my phone. I will open social media and I am pressed. I know by the time you get to social media, you don't know when 3 hours is gone. You're just clicking here, checking LinkedIn, checking Facebook, checking Instagram, checking this, checking. You're checking, responding, laughing, watching videos. Before you know it, you spend 3 hours doing absolutely nothing. And at that point, you realize, what do I need to do for the day? You're already tired because you've exerted mental energy. So before I get to that point, I do always put myself together in the mornings to achieve a lot so that my afternoons are left for work and my evenings are left for relaxing. In the evenings, I have a routine. The first thing I start my evening routine at 5 p.m. with, after my sessions during the day, is I go to the gym. I don't go to the gyms in the morning. I go in the evening because I realize that it helps me sleep better. So are you getting the trick? This is how you must be able to structure your life. Once you start changing the way you think, you have to start to tell yourself, I must make conscious decisions, okay? I must make conscious decisions. Can we move to the next slide? I'm sure you guys are getting some good business. Yes, this image. So when you look at this image, I want you to answer 2 questions for me. What do you see and where do you think you can put this kind of picture or painting in your house? Where do you think this kind of picture or painting is appropriate? What do you see and where do you think you can put this picture? This is an interactive part of our session, so let's keep talking. I want to see on the comment section.
And so I can put it on my bedroom.
Okay, a woman.
It makes
right?
me, so it makes me like relaxing somehow. I think it's a good picture.
Okay, thank you. Okay, someone said in my bedroom, Gloria. Awesome. Janet says in my office, in a place where we can see it every day in the early morning. Okay. In my lounge. Okay. In the bedroom. Okay, Ali. Okay. Okay, Favor. Who else wants to try? Just one more or 2 more, and then I'll now say what I want to say. In the bathroom. Okay. Now, this picture, this image is an image, obviously, of a woman. Everyone knows that, okay? It's an image of a woman who is leaning on her hand. And from the looks of it, she's not putting on any clothes, okay? From the way it was drawn. Now, the appropriate place to put this, for some of us, some people have said in my office. Do you see? Some people have said in my bedroom. Somebody said in my art room. Somebody says where it will make me think. Do you see that this image is being interpreted because of the thought patterns that you have? The way you think is determining the way you decide this image will be put. So I want to take a guess. For those of you that said in your bedroom, you probably said that because it's a naked woman and it's a woman. So it should, and it looks sort of sensual. So it should be in a place where not everybody can access it. Am I right? For those of you that said in my bedroom, is that what was going through your mind? Now, for those of you that said
exactly.
in a place, right? Awesome. So for those of you who said in my office, you and a place where you can think, it's probably because it's a thought-provoking image because of the way the lines are. It's very intricate. It looks like an optical illusion. So you feel like it will make a perfect piece of art. And you're most likely a minimalist when it comes to artwork. You don't believe in a lot of colors. You like the simplicity. That's probably why you said it would be in your office, because you're an artistic person. That's how you think, right? So if I'm right, please identify and say yes, Now, for those of you, okay, instead said bedroom, shower, massage place. Aha. So you're one of those who believes it's a sexual image and it's private, so it should be in a private place. Somebody else said something I want to pay. In my art room, Isna said in my art room. In my art room, you probably said that because it's so artistic and the only place where you feel you'll be appreciated more is in your art room. Do you see? Because when someone walks in and sees this, and they're like, oh my God, it's just a line, yet it's so beautiful. Because for you, it's an artistic image. You don't see it as a sensual image, you see it as artistic. So for every single person who has said something, you have said it out of who you are and your thought pattern. That's why you have said it. And so if you want to start to change your thought pattern, you must begin to see life. Ask yourself, how do I see life? What are the things about life that I'm not excelling at? What are those things that I want to do better at that I'm not doing better at? How do I think about them? What are my thoughts about those things? When you start to question your thoughts about certain things, you begin to see the loophole. You begin to see the areas where you need to work on, how you need to do this, what you need to do. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys today at the end of this message, is to say, when you change your thoughts to line up with where you're going to, you cannot be thinking like a poor person and expect money to come to you. You can't think like someone who is not loved and expect to be in a relationship. You can't think like a poor person and expect to be wealthy. You can't think like someone who is not diligent, who is always sad and expect to be happy. You cannot think the opposite and expect the opposite. You must begin to take your thoughts into your hands. You must begin to take your hands and say to yourself, I want to be better and I will be better, and begin to take those actions. And so this is how a very simple, straightforward, I know it's complicated. Like I said, there are more deeper things, but we can't talk about all of that today, okay? Because we don't have the time. So this is how you begin to actually change your life. So while we are holding on, sorry, I'm going to mute for a bit because I want to call my kids to just bring the painting and then we will round up the session. So if you see me, you have to hear me screaming on the top of my voice because they are somewhere in the living room, okay? Thank you. You can go. I'm not done yet. Okay, guys. So this is me showing you my painting. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys can see it. So I did this painting on Saturday. So you guys tell me what you can see when you look at the painting. What can you see? What comes to mind when you look at this painting? Can everyone see it?
Yes, wow, awesome. A beautiful painting. Enjoy it.
Thank
That's
you.
really
Feels me,
amazing, Tessy.
yeah, the left picture that feels me warm, and the right one feels me like night, a beautiful night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
A night is very relaxing, Tessy. Very beautiful painting.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So what else do you see when you look at this painting?
For me, I see two environments in one picture.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Who else?
I can see two worlds like one tree.
Okay. Two worlds,
Two
one
different
tree.
moods.
Yeah. Two different moods. Awesome. Awesome. Who else wants to try? One more person. A good place to get yourself relaxed. So that's cool. Okay. So thank you for admiring my painting. You can see my name there. I wrote my name so that everyone can know I painted this magnificent piece of art. Okay, so thank you. So guys, the idea is everyone looked at that painting and you saw something different. Someone saw one tree and two different modes. Somebody else saw a place to get relaxed. Somebody else saw,
Excuse
so
me,
when you look
Tessy.
at a painting, when you look at life, yeah?
Can you hold it with yourself? I can take a screenshot and I want to upload it on LinkedIn.
Okay, yeah, I'll hold it up for you. Can you see it?
Yeah, thank you so much. I will upload it on LinkedIn, tagging you.
All right. All right. So you see that everybody sees something different when they look at an image. I know when you look at life, you see different things. And that's what I'm trying to tell you today is you are the architect of your life. If you don't like something, you can change it. You know, I can see different people here saying face of life, two sides of the story, light and dark, lovely. There's darkness on one side and light on the other side. You know, we see things, we think, as we think and as we believe. Yes, when I look at this image I just showed you, what I actually did when I was looking at it, at first I thought it was light and day, and then I looked and saw that it's the same tree, but it goes through a different phases of the day at the same time. The orange one is the sunset. So the sun is just setting, the day is just going down. That's the orange one for me. And the other one is the midnight, where the starlight is bright and then the moon is shining. So none of these are day, and yet the tree is dark in both of them. Because when the sun starts setting, the tree gets dark. When the stars are up, the tree is still dark. You know, so you can interpret it as anything that you want. You only see what you want to see because of how you think. Your thinking pattern affects a lot of things. And this is where I want to say thank you guys for listening to me. I do hope that I've spurred you to think more about yourself, to change the way you think. This new year that is coming up, it's 2025. You can do a lot with your life. You don't need to wait until January. You can start in December to start to take stock of your life. What have you done this year? What are the things you've achieved? Look at those things you've achieved. Make a vision board of the things you've achieved in 20. I know people say vision board is just for the future, but I want to encourage you. Make a vision board of your 2024. All the things you've done. There's something that happens to you when you can see the things you achieved in a year, not just the things you want to achieve. If you have something to look back on, you have something to look forward to, okay? So make a vision board of all the things you've achieved in 2024. Put pictures of them. Picture on your vision board, feel free. I'm not going to sue you. It's okay. You know, put visions of mine, of women ascension, of all the great things that's happened to you in the year 2024. Put them up. Now create a new vision board that says the things that will happen in 2025, and begin to print out pictures, write things, and put there, and trust God that you are going to get them done. And that's how you do it. Your life is in your hands. There are only two people that have access to your life and can turn your life around. One is God, the other is you. You must be able. God already wants you to do well. He wants you to prosper. He says in his holy book that it is his will that you do well and that you prosper. And so I want to just, say a prayer for everyone who is here. As this is the last session, Lord, I ask that everyone who has listened to me today, that they will have an encounter with you, and that you will open their eyes to see what it is that you will have them do in the year 2025 in the name of God. I want you to open their eyes and show them the things that you want them to do, the way you want them to do it, the pattern that you want them to do it. Even those that are feeling sad and unachieved for the year 2024, show them before the end of the year. Let them have encounters that will change their lives. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you, Mayin. Thank you. I felt like I needed to, say that prayer for everyone, who is listening to me. Thank you so much for being at the session with me. I'm so excited for the end of the year. And it's Christmas season, so I'm unnecessarily excited because it's Christmas. So thank you. Mayin, you have the floor. You guys can ask me any question. I'm here to answer all of it, okay? Until you guys can chase me away and tell me to go. But for now, I'm here. Thanks much. God bless you. It's such a great session. Thank you. Thank you, Ajia. Thank you. Thank you, Tekum. Thank you, Zainab.
Thank you so much, Tessy.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes,
so
you're
much.
welcome.
We loved it. We loved today's session. And each time you say something, I have a diary next to me in my table. I write it down. what are my feelings about that particular question. So I am learning with you too. So thank you so much for involving not just me, but everybody in, the process of understanding themselves. So from all of us, thank
Yeah,
you so
right.
much for this year. For upcoming year, we would be requesting you for your presence. We love your presence. And I hope to catch you soon for further conversation. So thank you everybody for supporting Miss Tessy and learning with Miss Tessy. She's there with you all in the WhatsApp group. She's there in the LinkedIn. Always, always connect with her. She is a great, great guide.
Thank you. Yeah, true.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
this
you
is
very
nice,
much.
Janet. Oh, making a vision board. You're welcome. You're welcome. And please, when you make your vision board,
Even
Janet,
I have
share with the
written
rest
so
of
many
us so that it
points.
can spur us. Yes, please, right? Sure, take a picture of it. And I think you're spurring me to do my vision board for the year. So I would also make mine for the year, the things I've achieved this year, and I'll share with everyone. Okay. If you want to connect with me, always just be as long as you're on the WhatsApp group, my LinkedIn profile will be shared there, and then you can connect with me. Okay. Thank you so much, Mayan. Do I have your permission to sign out?
Thank you so much, Tessie. Please take care. Have a nice day. We wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Allah. Take care.